Want to start?
Go ahead, Sure. Louisville naturally is one of the hottest teams in the league right now on a pretty good winning streak. What are they doing that's put them in the position they're in right now, do you think?
They play hard. I think they play hard, and they're a connected group. And you can kind of see, them building as the year went on. They might have had a little lull right before Christmas, but they just kept building and building and building. They found a great rhythm. They play for each other. They look like they have a lot of fun with each other. And they're not one of the hottest teams in the league. They're one of the hottest teams in the country. So, I'm looking forward to the game, but that's who they are. They transition team. We got to have a lot of energy. We got to match their energy.
Shoot a ton of threes. So I'm sure perimeter defense is a huge point of emphasis.
Oh yeah, sprinting back on defense is the point of emphasis, because it's about just matching up, not matching up with your man. But at the same time too, we can't be on our heels playing against this team. Really good team, obviously. Respect what they're doing. Pat's done a great job, but we got to run it back at them. We got to be aggressive in the things that we do. We got to keep them off the offensive glass. They have 4 guys going to glass. I tell you, at times Hadley, he'll go to glass. He'll just throw you out the way to get a rebound. So we got to match the physicality of the game.
You've talked before about different players. It doesn't matter whether they come off the bench or they start. Duncan, the last game, you brought him off the bench. How did that look to you? As far as him bringing the energy.
Oh, it's fine. I mean, like I said, with Duncan, it's just, our numbers are so low. So, again, him coming off the bench is not necessarily a byproduct of what he didn't do or is doing or isn't doing, but more of us to give us a better rotation against who we play, because I don't know who I'm going to start tomorrow, to be honest with you, based on the game. They play a lot of small ball. And you got to score the ball against them. You can't have a lot of lulls, so to speak. But Dunk has been really good, and he's only getting better.
How is the team this week after Tuesday injury? Everything you guys are going through, spirit's still high, but still good in that respect.
Yeah. Guys are energetic. There's been no fall off in terms of the energy and the effort, what they're bringing. Attitudes have been great. And, I still feel like we can do some things. We got 10 games to go. It starts tomorrow.
Do you feel that your team is maybe better suited playing against a smaller lineup or a bigger lineup, or is there any difference that you see there?
I don't see a difference. It's just, playing against a smaller team allows you to put your 5 best players on the floor. So that's really what that does in this situation. But we only got 6, 7, depending on the day. But, it just allows you to play put your best players on the floor. And, again, I trust our guys. We just have to, it's unfortunate, man. Notre Dame game, we were good for 38 minutes, and, we probably gave away 5 to 6 plays throughout the game, but those 5 to 6 plays cost us.
When you talk about the shortened bench and how it affects what you can do in practice, what changes did you have to, or have you made any changes in practice other than having to use like GAs and that type of thing?
No change. I mean, you got to condense the practices, obviously, because you don't want nobody getting injured, but it's a fine line because you still got to stay in shape and do different things. We do a lot of running early on, and it's not punishment running, but we've got to run. So we just do different things of that nature. But it's been a different year, and it's caused me to make a lot of adjustments on the fly. But it's been good still at the same time. Like I said, boy, let the way the guys compete. They still working.
Eric Chatfield, when you were recruiting him, what did you see in Eric that made you know he'd be a good fit for you guys?
Good player. I think that he's a shifty guard, can shoot it, and big picture, I think that, he's the type of guard that's only going to get better and better and better. So, that's what I see from him. High character kid, comes from a great family. And look forward to coaching.
Do you see any of yourself in him?
Remains to be seen. It's a lot of, every time, and don't get me wrong, again, he's a really good player, but you just, that's a lot to put on someone.
Yeah.
No, I'm not gonna put that on him, but he has a chance. How fast? That's on him. I tell everybody. I mean, everybody knows I'm not against playing freshmen, but that's on him. How he progresses. Along the way. But excited to coach him. Really am.
Beginning of the year, you talked about Nate and Vi and how things are going to be different for them this year because they're up at the top of the scouting report now. How has the adjustment been for those two guys? How have they adjusted to all that?
I mean, it's work in progress. It's everyday thing. I mean, I think that with them the evolving has been more than just this year. I mean, you got to remember, like, these guys weren't highly recruited out of high school, so it's been a process. So you always got to remember that when you're coaching them to try to keep a perspective for them. And I think that maybe early on, in a sense, it was too much of an expectation of them. And I think that as the injuries came and mounted, when you can't protect guys sometimes with other players, like then, things start to happen on the run. And I think that they're finally starting to figure it out. I think that, Bai has been way more active the last 4 games. I think he's getting back to doing the things that we want him to do. I think Nate has been, really good, especially last game, but he's been getting better. And, he's to me, he needs to score more. I was happy to see him last game more than anything taking mid-range shots, because I've been telling him that all year. Like, you got to shoot mid-range shots. Like, you got to take what the defense gives you. When you're the point guard, you got to take what the defense gives you. But I think that both of them are evolving as players, and I think that everything that we're doing is going to benefit them moving towards the future.
Thanks.
All right.
Appreciate it.
All right.